that would be our bona fide number one shooter.
You know, Dave, we're sitting here at the buck factory, and what's long been a big topic with a lot of people is deer management. And there's historically been three types. There's traditional deer management, which basically there's no deer management.
Yeah, you're just shooting deer. You're
shooting
just
whatever buck walks by and shooting
can.
very few does.
Yeah.
Then there's quality deer management,
Yeah.
which protects year-and-a-half-old bucks,
Yeah.
harvests does, manipulates habitat, tries to balance that habitat with that deer density, right?
Yep.
And that's oftentimes confused with trophy deer management. It's not the same. Trophy deer management is you're setting an age limit on your bucks.
Yeah.
You're only shooting older class bucks. You know, you're not shooting those 2 and 3 year olds primarily, and then you're still harvesting a lot of does.
Yep.
To get your deer densities where it needs to be, to try to get that buck to doe ratio where it needs to be, and then obviously you're manipulating habitat to provide nutrition.
That's right. You're trying to maximize trophy potential, antler wise, and keep everything in relation. Keep your doe numbers down, even controlling buck numbers
Right.
to an extent.
You know, you sent an article to our group the other day, and what was really fascinating about that article is that it proved once again, kind of the final nail in the coffin,
Yeah.
that antler development is not really genetically related. It's not correlated.
It's not correlated to what the father has
That's
on
right.
his head. I think it's the third study they said
Yep.
that they've done that has just proven that you can't manipulate genetics in a wild free-range deer herd, and B, you hear people say all the time, "Oh, you should let that big buck go so he can spread his seed." That's just not the way it works. The doe has just as much of a impact on what that deer has.
You know, and I read an NDA article the other day, and what I found most impactful on that article is, if you read it, is that while it was not correlated with the sire or the antlers necessarily, a buck with a big rack doesn't necessarily pass that on to his progeny. The thing that made the most impact was nutrition.
Absolutely.
And the basis of the article came down to, if you want big deer, let them get old and have a high plate of nutrition.
And those are of the three things that have an impact, and I really think four things have an impact on antlers, stress being that fourth one, but age, nutrition, genetics, and stress. The only ones you can have an impact on are keeping a stress-free environment, a low-stress environment, feeding them as much as possible, high quality, through good habitat, food plots, that sort of thing, and then passing on them, let them get old. That's the only thing you can have an impact on. Genetics is just a shot in the dark. You can't do anything about it. So.
You know, what we, as a group, what we decided that we want to do at the buck factory is we want a trophy deer match.
At a high level.
At a high level.
Yeah.
We want to grow big deer.
Yeah.
So, we've decided that basically 8 pointers every buck has to get to 4.5.
That's right.
If they have trophy buck potential, they're going to have to be 5.5, or maybe in some cases 6.5.
And by that you mean he's got something that makes you think he's going to grow a really big set of antlers. We're talking 170s plus.
That's correct.
And it's pretty unusual for an 8-pointer to get to that. So odds are we're going to put the green light on 8-pointers at 4 years old. Odds are, unless he's just an exceptional specimen of an 8.
Yep.
But if he's got 10 points, probably going to hold off on him until he's
or
5.
Or like picket fence, 12-pointer.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the deer that are expressing the most potential, we're going to let them go as long as possible.
Yes.
I like it.
That's the goal, because we want to harvest those mature bucks. But in some future videos we're going to do here, we're going to break down these individual bucks that we've targeted for this season, to kind of share with the viewers what went into that decision-making process. We've already talked to the folks about the 25 does that we want to shoot and why we're doing it. But we want to, and so in future videos, and hopefully this can help, what we're talking about can help other people make decisions on their own properties. But we're going to get into some specifics on certain bucks and why we're targeting those deer.
Sounds good. And ones we're not targeting too.
That's right.
Yeah, I like it.